Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's the Wrestling Classic. Justin here, back again for another casual conversation to keep you guys entertained during this lockdown quarantine period. Coronavirus 2020 taking over the world. I got none other than actor, former... Huh?
We can't call it COV virus. You gotta call it Steve Carino virus.
What are we supposed to call it?
The Steve Carino.
The Steve Carino virus. I like that. Yeah, we're in the Steve Carino virus.
The COV virus.
Yeah.
And it gets interrupted on social media.
That's fair.
It does. It's weird, yo.
That's weird. That really is weird. To think like the government's in on this. But I got none other than Shad Gaspard. You guys might remember him in the WWE as one part of Cryme Tyme. He's also still wrestling. He's acting. He's doing a whole bunch of stuff. I actually saw something really cool that I didn't know about you because I tried to do some research before this.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that you were on that show, The Game, and I used to really like that show back in the
day. Pooch is one of my close friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was weird because I did the episode. And that was like my first big acting gig outside of WWE.
Yeah.
Like I had no plans on acting when I left WWE. Like when I was in WWE, I was like, oh, maybe I want to do this, maybe I want to do that, but I really want to write. And then the audition came. I was auditioning, and I really wasn't into it. But then the audition for that came up. And I loved the show, and like I flew out from Texas to LA to do the audition, and I nailed that motherfucker. Like,
yeah.
like legitimately, I was so relaxed and so like not like unlike any of my other auditions, I wasn't nervous. I was just really chill. And she was like, "Cool." And I left. And by the time I got my car, my agent at the time was like, yeah, they're making an offer. I was like, "All right, cool." And they were like, for 2 episodes in Atlanta. And I was like, "Okay, can you get a little bit more?"
Yeah.
Like, it's your first acting gig. I was like,
you were just ready to jump into it. No, I was a big fan of that show. Like I didn't watch it when it came back. So I know it took like a few years of a hiatus until they brought it back onto BET. I didn't see the BET seasons, but I did watch it originally, and I thought it was such a cool concept of a show of like, the lives of like these athletes and these people as regular people that you don't really see all the time. But it was obviously like a sitcom. But
okay, so I know we should go to it later, but shows like The Game. That actually, like, I wasn't writing a wrestling screenplay when I was in WWE.
Yeah.
I wrote a Assassin's Stone with me and Muhammad Hassan, Mark Capani. We wrote that together when I was in WWE. And then when I got out of WWE, I was writing other things about bouncing, about bodyguarding, about all the things all the other things I did, what I'm saying, like fighting and stuff like that. I was writing about those kind of things. But I never had the plans to write anything about WWE, about the lives of wrestlers until I did that show.
Yeah. Well, let's just talk about it now. This is casual conversations. We go with the conversation.
Okay, yeah.
So you've been writing a script for a show that is based on the world of wrestling.
Yeah.
But not really the actual things that fans see on television, but more of like the behind the scenes, everyday life of wrestlers. Basically.
Yeah. So I'm friends with Peter Berg.
Yeah.
I don't say that's a name drop.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I say that because Pete, when I presented it to him, and I'm topping it around right now. So we've already went to Netflix. We have meetings with HBO, and Netflix has really been really cool. But then all this Steve Carino,
Steve Carino,
Steve Carino 19 all happened, and he told me to go in the room and dub it as The Wrestler meets Friday Night Lights.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, what it was is that I got inspired from things like The Game and Playmakers that used to be on ESPN.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of football players.
Yeah.
And every football player I've ever met, they're a fan of mine. But I don't even know who the hell they are because I don't watch football. I like soccer.
No, dude, I totally can relate because I have a lot of athletes that follow my page and I don't watch football, and other people are like, yo, do you know this person follows you? And I'm like, oh, that's cool.
I have no idea. So I was always very just like, when I watch football shows, I was like, oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
But then I'm around them and I'm like, wow, this is so boring. Hey, how about we do about 5 shots of Jaeger, buy the bar out, get these girls in it. And they're like, whoa, calm down, wrestler. They're like, what? Is not what you guys do? They're like, no, we're moderate. I'm like, oh, this is what we do in wrestling. And they're like, I'll start telling them stories about, Ric Flair getting in a fight with these rugby guys. and I beat them up.
Wait, Tom, are you gonna share this story now? Like you can't. We'll get back to the TV show. You gotta share the story about Ric Flair. You can't. Why not?
Later. No, but it was just like things like that.
Yeah.
What? And I'm like, yeah, we got held hostage one time at a hotel.
Yeah.
We got held hostage on an airplane one time, and Arn Anderson had to negotiate with the pilots and the government and pay them more money so we can fly out. It was a crazy situation, and it was like, they're sitting there looking at me like, bro, if that was a TV show, I would watch it. And like, I didn't really consider it. And then my boy Martin Blanco, he's the co-founder of Cameo, and I'm telling him like, yeah, I'm thinking about something to write, and he was like, all my football player guys tell me the same thing. Man, have you talked to Chad about any of the wrestling stories? And they'd be like, yeah. He's like, those shits are great. He's like, write that. And so I wrote the pilot and I put it on the Blacklist, which is like the main independent website for writers to see if stuff is good. If you get like a 6, it's an okay script. 7, it's good. It could be better. 8, you're a really good script. 9 is like super duper good. And 10, it's like a very small, like 0.1% get a 10, 1% get a 9, 2% get an 8, 2.5 get a 7, and like 3 or 4% get a 6. Everybody else is like 90% of the scripts that go on there are 6 and below or 5 and below. I got a 7 the first time.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's insane.
So
yeah.
I took my script and then I just didn't really work on it. I just resubmitted it and I got a 6.
Yeah.
Then I took it again and I talked to some more writers my boys who wrote for Game of Thrones, a couple other things like that.
Yeah.
And the guys I know, they were like, this is what you got to add. You don't need this many curse words. You don't need as much sex in there. What's the content? What's the storyline for this character? This character is not necessary. You don't have to introduce this character. Take this out. And I'm like, oh, and I actually upped my writing game by shadowing showrunners.
How long have you been doing this for, like in a time frame? Like when did you start with this wrestling, just the wrestling? Because you've said you've started with Muhammad Hassan back in the day writing other shows and stuff, but what this wrestling idea, when would it start and where, like how many years has it kind of been?
The wrestling show, I've been writing this show for 6 years now.
Okay, sweet. And do you have a working name for it?
Pinfall.
Pinfall. Yeah. Okay, sweet. And the other thing I want to say, because off what you're saying though, is that is really fascinating. Because my point of bringing up like athletes that follow me is because there are a ton of athletes that are wrestling fans. The difference, I think, from everything I know from listening to podcasts and reading autobiographies and this and that is like the life of a wrestler compared to the life of even like, because I'm also a big music fan, so I've read a lot of like rock star biographies and podcasts. Wrestlers, compared to other athletes, have kind of like a rock star lifestyle. It's that same kind of touring on the road, how to live off the road, how to like you're around your group of your road family so much, and you're influenced with who you're surrounded by. But the difference in the wrestling world is you're surrounded by whoever's contracted at the same place you are. So it's not like you get to pick and choose. It's a whole different world.
I remember we had what's it called? What's the guy from Guns N' Roses, the guitar? Slash.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, his wife was on our meal preps. Like my wife has a meal prep company.
Oh, sweet. And what's your wife's meal prep company?
Empire Bills.
Shout out to them. Okay, go on.
But I didn't know who Slash was really when I was on the road.
Yeah.
The Guns N' Roses guy. And then he was like, he's like, you guys aren't rock stars because you guys get in fights.
Yeah, okay.
It's a whole level. Like we get in fights, like me and Vladimir Oleg Critius, he's Vladimir Kozlov.
Yeah.
We used to get in fights and then go back to drinking, and then the bouncers would be like, "You guys good? You guys okay? You guys good? These guys bothering you?" Like I remember this guy's like, "What the? Y'all don't get kicked out?" Like, nah, man, we just do what we do. And like, I think I remember the last time when we started realizing we couldn't fight no more in places was I think we were like in Canada somewhere, and we got in this fight, and Brian Kendrick was just punching this guy, and I'm hitting. Yeah, and I see this guy, and he has his phone out like this, and I grab his phone and I go, "Bop!" And I'm like, "Motherfucker!" and I look away and I look at another guy. He has his phone. I'm like, wait, what you doing? And then I look around at another guy's phone. I'm like, oh crap! I was like, Brian.
Well, I guess that's like because people. I don't know. I'm not in the industry. I don't travel or anything with the wrestlers or anything. But like, you'll listen to the older wrestlers say like, oh, the times have changed. Like, it's not like it used to be. Like, we're a lot wild. And obviously, there's a lot of factors that go into that. Just changing with the times generally, and just like the way society is, and knowing what you know about drugs and the drug testing and everything. Like, well, there's a lot of factors. But I'd have to say one of the biggest factors is the fact that you really can't do things in public privately anymore because everyone does have phones. Like, almost everything that happens gets put out there. If it's like, it's not like those secret stories like, oh, we were in this bar, this happened, and it's like the only people that know about it were the people that were there. Like, that's not a thing no more, and it must suck.
No, but yeah, because it sucks, but at the same time, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's time. You have to change with the times.
I have moments like when I first got into the company. Randy was down in OVW. I was in the company for a few months, and then Randy had to come down to heal his shoulder, and then we had to get in the ring and bump and feet for Randy. And then Randy was like, "You're with me. You used to be a bodyguard, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "You're gonna be with me tonight." They're like, "Okay, Chad, you're gonna drive Randy around with it." And me and Randy got in so much fucking trouble. we got in so much trouble. Just tear things up, and I was like, "This is my guy." We were like, "Oh, we're gonna hang out all the time." And then it was like we got a chance to bond before I got on the road.
Yeah,
and I held his secrets, he held my secrets, and we bonded over those secrets because there was always things like, if I point to a car and be like, "Hey, Randy, those parked cars," he'll just start laughing because we have a bond of that.
There's like an inside joke there. That's what real friendships are grown from most of the time, Yeah.
Now, I've been around a lot of them. They all seem really nice. They're all nice guys. They're all good athletes. They're all cool guys. But their bond is over a vested interest of money.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And when your bond is only based on a financial bond, it doesn't feel right. Drake Maverick, the kid that got released. I met him years ago.
Yeah.
And we're at Comic-Con and we're going on to a boat party, and I hear "yo," and I look over and it's Xavier Woods, and I'm like, "Oh!" So I come down. I'm like, "They're with us," because like my boys open the door at the party, and I'm like, "Yo, he's with us. He's with me. He's with me. He's with me." They're like, "Oh, great, great." I see Drake. I'm like, "Oh, he's with me. Hey, what's up, Drake?" And he's like, "You remember me?" I was like, "Yeah." I remember we all went out drinking. He was like the little guy that was just a nice, cool guy. And so he's like, "And you still remember me?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I remember you, bro. Let's fucking just do a party tonight." We're just drinking and partying. And the next day, we're in the halls, we're walking at Comic-Con, and he sees me. He's like, "Yo, Chad, my guy, what's up?" We're always gonna have that bond, man. You know.
You know what's so funny? You bring that up because just as a fan, like I'm just a fan, but like that's how I met Drake. I was very intoxicated. It was WrestleMania weekend. It was Wally Mania. It was my first night in New Orleans. I snuck into the VIP area because this is my first Wally Mania. I probably if I tried to talk to these guys and stuff, I probably could have got a VIP, but I snuck in because I didn't know what I was doing. It was my first night there. Luckily, like I know Kaz and Emilio, and I know Jamie Ivan. Like I know those guys, the other fans, the outside group people. Like we all know each other, so they saw me like, "Oh, it's a wrestling classic. It's cool. It's cool." You know what I mean? But I started taking shots with Drake Maverick and Marty Scurll, and we're just hanging out. I'm just hanging out with these two guys. He was so friendly, and till this day, like he's so nice to me. And it's just like we have this different relationship because we got turned up together this one time. We had some funny ass conversations, and like we're making fun of some of the other people that were there. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
you understand? I have so many friendships that I built.
Yeah.
A company off of a shot of Jaeger, off of a drink. One of the things we were told when we were in OVW, when I first got in the company, like I'm a huge Undertaker fan.
Yeah.
And when I got in, Rocky Johnson trained me. So I came in, and day when I got there, Rocky was like, "That one's mine."
Mm-hmm.
And like, cool. And Rocky just like took me in his ring, trained me, showed me everything I need to do. That's why I have a good relationship with DJ. You know what I'm saying? And when Rocky left, before Rocky left, I tried to find out as much as I could about Taker, Dwayne, everybody, because I want to know, because I come from a world of fighting and bodyguarding. I know you got to show respect to the higher ups, like the board. Yeah. And so he's like telling me everything about Taker. And like the one thing I learned about Taker was Taker loved Jack Daniels. If you had to go to court and Taker was a judge, bring some Jack Daniels. If you got in trouble with the boys, you got in trouble with Taker, bring some Jack Daniels. So in my 3 years in OVW, we used to go out. I just started to learn to build a tolerance for Jack Daniels. And go out for like 200 days and then take 2 days off and then go out for 200 days again. You know, just like every night we go playing and then we go training in the morning time. And I built this tolerance for Jaeger. And so then when I finally got on the road, it's me, my part, it's all the boys were all out. We're at the club. I think we're in like Mexico somewhere. Rey Mysterio gets all of us into the spot. We're all there. It's right next to our hotel. We're all chilling. And I go to the bar and I go, yo, can I get a bottle of Jack Daniels? And he's like, yeah, how many shots? And I was like, line them up. I need 20 shots all right here. And he was like, great. And so he's lining them up, shot. I go, Bradshaw, Taker, everybody come in. Everybody's coming over. You know, whole Raw roster to come over. And Taker goes, well, hell, son, you got shots for everybody? I said, no. And I go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The rest of you pussies over there. And they go, ah!
That's hilarious.
The Taker's like, oh, goddamn, son, hell yeah. I was like, fucker, y'all drink that right there. I see a nice cute Latin girl we'll talk to. I go to the girl. I start talking to her. I start dancing with her. I dance into the bathroom, and I go.
I've been there, man. I've been there.
I come back. Like, what's up, Taker? Y'all want to do some more shots? You want to tequila too, son? Come on, let's do tequila.
That's so funny, man. Wow.
But
I just want to bring something up because we were talking about fights and getting in fights before. I was obviously I was trying to do my research before this. You've been fighting your entire life. Yeah, like, you've been fighting since you were like 16 years old. I read somewhere. I don't trust Wikipedia, so I want it from you. You were fighting guys that were older than you at the age of 16. Like,
no, I've been fighting since I was 5.
That's insane. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, like, I consider him be like, yeah, we did fights in my little cult second our group, and we'd box and stuff, but like, you legit like went into like competitive fighting by your teenage years, like,
yeah,
when it wasn't like as popular as it is now, where everybody wants to try to get into jiu-jitsu or whatever because you know MMA blew up. Like, you were fighting for a very long period of time.
You know what's crazy? Because we're in this quarantine time and I got shit to do.
Yeah,
during this quarantine, I've been writing, having meetings on Zoom, wearing a fucking onesie.
Yeah, we appreciate it. This is a casual conversation. I'm in my pajamas under the. This looks okay, but I'm telling you down here, it's just a blanket of pajamas. We be chilling.
You wearing pants? I'm wearing this, motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm like, dude.
I'm gonna go like this to myself. Hold on, like this. I'm like, yeah, I feel good today. I'm like,
we're getting a full show on here. Okay.
Onesie out here. And they're like, oh, okay, Chad. I'm like, so we're gonna have a meeting with the TV show in a few weeks. Like, yeah, Chad, are you wearing pants? Yeah, I'm wearing pants outside.
Yeah. No, I just think it's fascinating because you've been fighting since you were 5. You started competitive fighting. When did you fall in love with wrestling? When did wrestling become something for you where you're like, oh,
well,
go ahead.
No, see, so my family, we're West Indian, so we're from Caribbean Islands, and I always thought wrestling was real. Like from day one, I was like, Hulk Hogan is the real heavyweight champion of the world. Hulk Hogan is a wrestling heavyweight champion of the world. Mike Tyson is the boxing heavyweight champion of the world. If those two guys meet, it's crazy. like that was my mindset when I first, came to the States. You know what I'm saying? And so it was one of those things where like I always loved it because I thought it was real.
Yeah.
And I just saw wrestlers as like super heavyweights, and then boxers as like just regular heavyweights. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it was like it legitimately wasn't until I was maybe 19 that I had to finally just say, okay, wrestling, it's not real. It's sports entertainment. But what happened was I was fighting for this promoter named Hardbody Harrison.
Yeah.
And Hardbody was like a pimp in Atlanta. And what happened was that when I was 16, my mom kicked me out, and me and my cousin were staying at this motel in Atlanta, Georgia, right? And we're staying at the motel. I'm running drugs for my boys every now and then and just trying to do whatever I can. And then all the girls who stayed there, unbeknownst to me, were all working ladies.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So 16 going on 17-year-old me meets a girl, And sorry, my son's in the other room.
No, I totally understand. And there's probably some children that might watch this. If they don't get it, it's okay.
Yeah, I know. And what happens is that her pimp comes to my room and is like, "You owe me money."
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And he's like, "That's one of my girls. You owe me some money." I'm like, "Yo, bro, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't owe you nothing." You know what I'm saying? And then he pulls out a knife and he starts pointing at my cousin and me. When he goes up to me, he's pointing a knife at me, and he points the knife to my cousin. And when he does that, I grab his wrist and I punch him, and I run him into a car, and then that's right in front of our room. And I just start punching him and holding onto the knife, and I'm holding on. So he finally drops the knife, and I'm punching him, and then all of a sudden a Mack truck just hits me, boom, and I fly against the car, and it's hard body. Mm-hmm. And he's like, what the fuck? And he's like, "What you doing on here?" I was like, "Yo, chill. He had a knife. He's trying to stab me and my cousin." And then so hardbody's yelling at me. He's yelling at the guy. And mind you, I'm a 16-year-old kid, and now I got this buff, blonde-haired black guy in front of me with a blonde.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm freaking out. And I'm big, but I'm not grown. I'm like 215. 210. I'm a big kid, but I'm still a kid.
So, no, for sure.
So he starts yelling at the guy, and the guy gets up. And he says something. He says something like Hardbody, and Hardbody goes boom and just slams him on his head, and then starts beating his ass. And I'm like, holy shit! And then Hardbody goes, "You like to fight?" And I go, "No, I'm good." And he goes, "No, you like to fight?" I go, "Yeah, I can fight." He goes, "You box? You a boxer?" I was like, "I can box. I can kickbox." And he goes, "You won't fight for me from now on." I go, "What?"
Wow.
He goes, "You won't fight for me from now on." I go, "Okay, sir." And this is like late November, and come in December, we start training for like 2 weeks, and then he puts me in this boxing tournament that he's doing in some nightclub. And so I go into the tournament, and I fight this guy, and then like my first like prize fight, I'm like the whole time I'm nervous and about to throw up. I'm 16 going on 17, and I'm just like so nervous. And I go out there, and the first few punches I'm just tight because I've been in an amateur fight, but I've been a real like against a grown adult.
Yeah.
I sparred against adults, but not a fight against an adult. And so I get in there, and he hits me a couple times. I'm like, that ain't shit. Oh, and he starts staggering back. I'm like, oh, really? Come here, motherfucker. And I light him up, and I beat him second round. And so I fight for Hardbody for a few months, and he's paying me for every fight, and so I'm getting like $200, $300.
See, this is the stuff you don't get on Wikipedia.
You really don't.
Yeah,
I'm getting like $200-$300 per fight. Sometimes $500, and I'm not thinking anything of it because it's like 1997, 1998.
Yeah,
I ain't got no money anyway, so this money is fucking good money for me. And so it's not until like he has to do a wrestling show for WCW. And he's like, "Hey, do you want to work security of the show?"
Okay.
Like, fuck yeah.
Wait, what was Hardbody doing with WCW?
Hardbody was like a job. He's like a enhancement talent. He was a contract.
Oh, okay. So he did wrestle.
Yeah. So
okay.
And so I go to the show. I get my security. It's like the aisle security people.
Yeah.
Me, my boy that we'll fight for Hardbody. We go there, and then I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna walk backstage and pretend like I belong. And so I go downstairs and I'm walking backstage, and one of the uniform security guards, like the cop, they see me. I go, "Hey, what's up?" And they go, "Oh, hey." And I just walk right by, and I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah.
And I'm backstage WCW, and I'm walking through, and I see everybody. I see Sting, I see Hogan, but then I see Kevin Nash.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of Kevin Nash, and I'm a big fan of Sid. And so I see Nash, and I go, "Hey, what's up, Nash?" And he goes, "What's up?"
Yeah.
I go, "Well, you're big, sexy." Yeah. He goes, "Really?" I go, "Yeah." "How old are you?" And I go, "Whoa. Enough of the questions. First buy me dinner." "All right, whoever this guy is, get him the fuck out of here." And I'm like, "I'm 18. And he's like, "You're 18? I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm 18, 19 years old." And he's like, "All right, well, nice to meet you. What's your name?" I was like, "Shad." He's like, "All right, cool." And I walk out, and I walk in, and I see Sid. And I go,
"Oh,
Sid." And I go, "Hey, what's up, Sid?" And he was like, "Huh." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And so I'm in the stand. So now we have to, like, the security is like, hey, you don't belong back here. I'm like, oh, I got lost. I'll go back to my spot. Hardbody sees me. He's like, get the fuck back here. I go back in the stands, and I don't want to stay in my station because I'm not a job kind of guy.
Yeah. No, for sure. Same here.
So
Go on.
we went to the side where the backstage area is at, where they have the curtain.
Yeah.
And so we're back there and watching all the wrestlers go to the gorilla. We didn't know what it was at that time.
Yeah.
They go to the gorilla, and then they go out to the ring. And so we're watching. I see Nash, and I go, "Hey, kind of sexy," and he goes.
Have you talked to him about this ever since?
Yeah, well, we talk about it all the time.
That's so funny. Okay, but continue. So you're there, you see Kevin Nash say kind of sexy.
Yeah.
And then is that when you started realizing you wanted to do this, or?
No. So this is when I realized wrestling was fake.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. This would be you're behind the curtain. Yeah.
Now, after I said that, I'm jocking my boy. I'm like, yo, you saw that? And I see Sid coming from the other end. And they're supposed to have a match. And I'm like, yo, Kevin Nash, yo, Nash, Sid is coming. And I'm like, and he's like doing his thing. He has like his little headphone thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit, you don't hear me. Oh, they're gonna fight. They're gonna fight for real back here. We wanna see this shit. And then Sid goes and smacks him on the butt. And we're like,
wow. Your world shattered right there.
We're like, wrestling is fake. Oh no.
So let me ask you a quick question before we move forward, because this story is great. But you're writing a show about wrestling, and I don't know any of the synopsis or anything. We haven't gotten into that at all. But wow, like basically your experiences alone is a show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's the best part about it, because a lot of things in it is like there's a lot of things that I went through, and a lot of things that you know.
Nice chat. What a fucking show. You're in the middle of it.
I'm not cutting that out.
Oh, that's my wife.
This is a casual conversation. You can do whatever you like.
All right. So basically, a large majority of the show is things that I've experienced. A lot of things are things. The reason that I got away with a lot of things writing in the show is because I lived it.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a lot of things that I lived, that I saw, that can't be done at home. Babe, can you plug my laptop, please? Thank you. Yeah, so a lot of things that I lived, I saw. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, there are things that, you know.
The shirt just gets even better, but continue. Mostly after the Kevin Nash story you just told about Big Sexy. You're wearing a shirt that says Team Sexy as fuck. Okay.
Trust me, I got a ton of my own merch laying around the house because I don't give a fuck.
No, so the rare opportunity that I'm actually not wearing a wrestling classic t-shirt is surprising considering how many stuff I have.
No, but it was just one of the things where, like, a lot of things that I experienced and a lot of things that I saw made it to the first season of the show.
Yeah,
and I wrote the entire first season already, and the way that it culminates in an end, for a lot of people who don't know the business. For a lot of people who know the business, they'll be shocked because they'll be surprised how friendships work in this business. You know what I'm saying? They'll be surprised how bonds are built and then they're broken, you know, not just for money, not just for fame, not just for notoriety, but because we strive so hard to get to where we want to get to.
Yeah.
Like when I got into OVW, I came in with 130 other guys. Okay? Out of the 130 guys I came with, only 25 were under contract. I was lucky enough to get a partial contract coming in.
Yeah.
I lost my partial contract 6 months into the company.
Yeah.
Told, what do you want to do? And I stayed. You know, I stayed, I suffered, I starved. I got called nigger tons of times. You know what I'm saying? And that wasn't even from the fans. That was people I worked with. You know what I'm saying? But I did learn the burning desire of the business that was meant for me to learn. Me and Jim Cornette don't get along on a lot of things.
Yeah.
A lot of things. I don't agree with Jimmy. I could say probably 90% of things Jimmy and I don't disagree about everything.
Yeah.
I even hated the way that he saw me as a wrestler.
Yeah.
But on the same token, if it wasn't for Jim Cornette, I would never have learned about the Goldust Trio. I would never have learned about, the Von Erichs.
Yeah.
I would never learn about the history of the business because Jimmy created a packet system for all developmental talent when they came into the company that you had to learn the base history of this company. You know what I'm saying? Before you learned how to do a clothesline or a drop kick. You had to study videotape and watch classic matches and understand where
The
we
history.
came from,
Yeah.
where we went, where we've been. Now you have to create where we're going to go.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of things I did when I first started, I was Ernie Ladd. I was legit big cat Ernie Ladd. And then I started to incorporate Tiny Lister.
Yeah.
Good parts that I fell in love with. Then I started to incorporate things like the Shogun from Harlem, from Last Dragon. And then I started just like bringing some Mike Tyson, bringing some Nash, bringing some Rock, bringing some all these different flavors of guys. I loved submission wrestling because I can do MMA.
Yeah.
So I started bringing all these little things into my matches, and it was horrible. There was just too many flavors. But then as I brought them all in, I slowly started peering them out and seeing what worked rather than what I liked. And I was like, oh, the submission stuff doesn't work right now. Why? Because the guy I'm wrestling is only 5'9".
Yeah.
Let him be the submission guy. Let me be the big guy.
Yeah, you're the giant there.
I'll be big and strong. He'll be fast and smart. That's the way it has to go.
Yeah.
He'll be brave. I'll be a coward. It's a give and take. And once you start getting that, you have to learn from the base of that to get that. Because it all goes back to the base of what our business was.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys, I feel the reason they fail on TV is because they find it incumbent to be dependent on creative to do that for them.
Yeah. Do you also think there is, because what I feel like we get a lot on TV today, and I from a fan perspective, is like it almost seems like people know what they can do, and they want to do that all the time.
Yeah.
Whereas sometimes, because for me, like from my perspective, I know we've talked, we've met each other, but we've never like talked. And like for me, like if you've ever listened to my stuff, I'm like, for me, like as a wrestling fan, I'm a character storyline driven guy. I love a good match as much as the next person, and you can give me a really good match and I'll enjoy the crap out of it. But unless I'm invested in the character and the storylines of this match, 2 weeks from now I'm gonna forget about it, because especially in today's society with streaming and online stuff, and you can watch all sorts of wrestling, we get a lot of good wrestling. There's too much good. We're spoiled with good wrestling and good matches. The ones that I remember are either the ones I was there live for because I was live, or because I really cared about the storylines and the characters. And I think what we see a lot of on a weekly basis is good matches, but like there's no reason for me to be invested in that match or to care about it down the road. But there's so many good matches. It's like everyone's throwing all their stuff that they can do in this match because they want a really good match, but then you're not really doing anything for yourself because I don't really care.
That's the thing I try to get to a lot of young guys that need to understand these things. I love Leo Rush. I think Leo is great. I think Leo Rush is amazing talent. With that said, I think Leo Rush didn't understand the position he was in and the opportunity he let go because he wanted to wrestle. I love wrestling.
Yeah.
Great technical wrestler, bro. Google some of my matches, like with on Velocity or with Jay or with me and Goldust.
Yeah.
I love technical wrestling. I can chain wrestle with the best of them, go hold for hold. I'm all right in jiu-jitsu. All right.
Yeah.
He beat the shit out of me.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? But no. But it's like, you don't want to see that from beasts.
Yeah.
You don't want to see that from a giant black guy from Brooklyn, New York, who's Caribbean, who's a badass. And I'm in there with fucking TJ Storm. And TJ is an amazing chain wrestler. I'm a good chain wrestler. TJ's amazing. You don't want to see me be good and him be amazing. You want to just see him be amazing.
Yeah.
and see if I can see if the little guy who's an amazing wrestler can defeat the big guy who has a really good strike.
Mm-hmm.
One good strike. That's all I got. I got one good punch. If I punch him 10 times, it don't mean shit.
Yeah.
You know, the thing with like guys like with the Leo, like not downing him because he's a really good guy, really great guy, and I don't want this to come across like I'm downing him.
No.
He's just somebody that I actually like and I care about, and I saw the opportunity, and I know the feeling. You know what I'm saying? I know the feeling. You know, I'm a real thug. Like in my personal life, I've been a real thug and a real gangster. What I did on TV, that's not real thugs.
Yeah.
That was a caricature of a living color. You know what I'm saying? It was a comedy skit.
Yeah.
But I've been a real thug, and when they would say, "Oh, what would you do as a real thug?" I wouldn't be smiling and talking.
Yeah.
Like
cracking jokes.
I don't George at. I literally put people on the ground, walk away, and I'm driving home and I go, "Oh, that would have been a good line to say," you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't sit there and like, it's not like, what you want to do? What you want to do? That's not me. I'm headbutting you, forearming you, you're down.
Yeah.
He had to understand that, and I think him and Bobby's gimmick would have went a longer way if he would have saw the benefit in not being touched.
Yeah.
There's so much benefit in not being touched. Yeah, you're a great wrestler. Probably one of the most amazing wrestlers in the business today that I've personally seen in Leo Rush.
No, he's amazing. Yeah.
But there's so much more benefit in you wrestling less and talking more shit.
Yeah.
And
that was like, if you ask me what I remember from Leo Rush's WWE run, it was the Lashley. Like, that's what I remember the most, you know? Because, like I said, but that's more me, maybe because I am a character storyline guy. And, like, I don't know, because even what you're saying, like, I don't remember, like, running a wrestling page, or that's basically based off of nostalgia.
Yeah.
A lot of times I'm posting moments. And I said this on the show I did yesterday. I'm probably going to drop this on Sunday, but I said this on the show I did yesterday, that, you know, I can post Austin coming on the beer truck, and everyone will remember that. Yeah. Nobody remembers what else happened on that Raw, and nobody else. Well, if I'm like giving you a top 5 Austin matches, you're actually gonna have to think about it. If I tell you, give me your top 5 Austin moments, people are like beer truck, this thing, that thing, because I'm like, people remember those things, and that's why we remember the matches more. And to your point, also, like, one of my favorite matches of all time, and it is my favorite match of all time. It's my number 1 favorite match, is Austin Brett WrestleMania 13.
Yeah.
Okay, and you had this super technical wrestler against this guy who has no submission moves, and he's a brawler in a submission match. You were intrigued to see how that was going to play out. Did Austin know submission moves? Sure, he did. 100% he did. If we knew Austin in WCW, we saw him being the mechanic and stuff, and you can sit on his podcast and be like, I didn't have any submission moves. His character at the time didn't, and he wasn't going to just start doing them because of a match. And it ended up being such a great story to tell, you know? To your point.
You know he's my next door neighbor, right? You hear me?
Pardon? I think you froze for a second there.
Oh, I said, you know he's my next door neighbor, right?
Yeah.
What, are you frozen?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay. Because you're frozen right now.
Am I?
Oh, yeah, there you go. Now
yeah, we could have been like froze for 2 seconds, but go ahead.
No, I was saying, Steve, he's my next door neighbor.
Yeah. Is he?
Yeah.
How about that?
He lives right around the corner from me. And it's crazy because I have these little dogs.
Yeah.
And my son and I were walking the dogs, and I'm just walking the dog, and he goes, "Hey, black guy, get out of the neighborhood." And the neighbors heard him. They were outside. They heard him. They saw him, and they saw me. And I go, "What'd you say, you white motherfucker?" We were like, "Oh shit." One.
So you live in that? Do you live in that else? I obviously don't want people to know where you live, but like I went to the El Segundo Brewing, the actual brewing place when I was down there in California last, and dude.
Oh, so the rattlesnake thing.
Yeah, the actual. But I went to the actual brewery.
I'm by the beach.
Okay, yeah, Manhattan Beach. But I went to the brewery, and I was actually, I'm like, dude, they made some killer tacos. It was a good time.
Yeah. That's the thing. Guys understand. It's like, it doesn't matter what generation you are in the company. Once you're there for a certain amount of time, you're family forever. Like, there's some guys who go into business and they get in and they regret everything they've done.
Yeah.
You know, because they didn't reach their mental peak. Mm-hmm. You know, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what? I'm not the one to tell you what you can and can't do. But at some point in your career or in your life, you have to understand the choices you made.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? MVP was supposed to be world champion. I was supposed to be a world champion. We were told to our face we were going to be world champion. We were saying about Howard Finkel. I remember the day the writers and everybody came to tell me, they were like, hey, I cut a promo in promo class, and I've told this story before. I cut a promo class, and I left the room quiet. Like Vince and everybody were like, holy shit, that was fucking awesome. And then when I came back, when I left, I went to the locker room, got my gear on, to go through my day, and the writers all pulled me aside, and they were like, you're going to be the champion. Vince says he wants to make you put a world title on you. And I'm like, that sounds good to me. What's going to happen? They're like, hey, we're going to split you and your partner up eventually. We're going to put a world title on you. We're trying to figure out who you should work. We're going with Glenn or a couple other people. And I was like, I think it was Glenn or Shelton or somebody like that. And I remember just knowing Gene's route and going through Glenn, and me and Glenn having a match in OVW.
Yeah.
I would go to, sorry, if you don't know, Kane.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, but for those who don't know who you're talking about, Glenn is Kane.
Yeah. But
I feel like more people would know that now since he's a mayor, but Yeah.
But then I was like, oh, definitely put me the G-Man. You know what I'm saying? And so we actually worked matches. We were working matches all on the house shows over in Europe, even here in the States, and it was all building up. And I was like, they told me I was going to face John. The mistake I did was getting my ego up and going to John and going, hey man, I'm coming for your title. I'm gonna take that shit, bitch. Because I'm a fighter. And John is a polarizing figure backstage at the time. And so, but I took it as, I'm gonna fucking fuck you.
Yeah.
Bad move.
Yeah.
Because I gave him the opening to go, that was me declaring war. And once I declared that, he just started doing his own thing. And he did what he needed to do for me to fall.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it later on. And I was like, yo, man, how did you how did you really get me? Because John beat me. I was on TV. My program with Glenn stopped. Even I was like, hey, are we having a pay-per-view match? He goes, I don't know. Heard you're going to Florida. Going to Florida for what? Apparently you can't wrestle now. I was like, what do you mean? I've been in the company for over fucking 9 years.
Yeah.
Now I can't. Now I can't wrestle. And he was like, "Be smart. Be smart. Go down there for a month. Keep your mouth shut. Do what you gotta do. The big show. Be smart. Go down there for a month. Keep your mouth shut. Do what you gotta do. You'll be back on the road. No problem. Don't worry about it." Cool. I did that. I wasn't smart. A month, I kept my mouth shut. 2 months, I was like, "Fuck everybody." They tried to send guys down there to fight me. I fought them back. They tried to send guys who were strong and they were football players to hurt me. Hey guys, I'm not a fake wrestler. I'm a real fighter. But at the end, when it came time for me to go back on the road, I said I want my release.
Yeah.
And then Johnny goes, no, you don't. I go, yeah, I do. Got my kid. I've been down here for 7, 8 months. I'm mentally tortured. It's November. I want my release. He goes, how about this? I'm going to soft release you. I'm going to change your contract from 3 months to 8 months so that you can get a check for 8 months. And after Mania, if you still are adamant about not being with the company, no harm, no foul.
Yeah.
I was like, cool. So got announced release, me, Mike Knox, a couple of the guys. And then I remember it being a month before Mania, and I got asked to do autograph signing. And I started getting pumped up. And I was like, I was already pumped.
Yeah.
Shredded, but I was like, I wanted to be like veiny, like massively crazy looking.
Yeah.
Got look in the mirror, and the guy that was flying me down for the autograph signing, I remember I went, hey man, I can't make it. And he was like, why not? And I was like, sorry man, I can't make it. And I burnt that bridge. And then I just sat at home, and I just had this anxiety over me to go back to the company. I just didn't want to go. And then I remember getting my last check at the end of April, And my wife being like, "You sure about this?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's do that. And I booked the game.
That's nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, I booked the game, and I was like, "Okay, this is the beginning of it." And
A new chapter started right there.
yeah, and then I remember I talked to John because he goes to Venice, and I saw John, and me and John, we never got along.
Yeah.
And, like, we got along kind of, and then
professionally, you guys got along, but there wasn't like a bond there.
Yeah. And then when he started dating Nick, you know what I'm saying? I was like, "Oh, this was going down." It's like, "That's my girl."
Yeah.
She's like, "You guys got to be friends." I'm like, "Fuck you, bitch."
Yeah.
We became friends, and it was like, all right. So we just hugged it out. We cried it out. He was like, "Man, I saw you in this movie." I was like, "I appreciate it, bro. I saw you in this." He was like, "Great." And I was like, "I got it." And then we just started working out together, like talking and working out. And he was like, I was like, "How did you beat me?" And he was like, "I didn't." He goes, "You beat you." He goes, "Kid, you were so focused on me, you stopped focusing on yourself."
Yeah.
You're so focused on all the things you want. You weren't focused on doing what you need to do, talking to the right agents. Like me and JTG's match, Jay was supposed to win, but at the end of the match, I was supposed to beat Jay's ass and then string him up and hang him outside of the ring.
Yeah.
I didn't do that because I didn't talk to my agent. I didn't talk to all the agents. I didn't talk to the writers. I didn't idiot proof everything.
Yeah.
That's me thinking that everybody's working for me and it's on my side. So there's a lot of guys that I was like, yeah, you might have got screwed in the business, but you got screwed because you weren't focused on the business. You got to be a fucking shark in there. And if you're not, shit happens. You know what I mean?
That's wild because you know what? There's a lot to unpack there, but there's like 3-4 different lessons I got out of that about being in the company and how to deal with things. So it's like, it's crazy because they pumped you up when you cut that promo and they gave you all these ideas of what was going to happen. So obviously inside of you, that does boost your ego a bit. And you thought like, okay, this is on the road. These guys are behind me because that's what you automatically think. They're behind me now. Like I got this. Like I'm gold. Yeah. And then you weren't. And then maybe you stopped doing your part of like talking to everyone, working with everybody, trying to make this work as a team. You were doing your thing, thinking it was going to happen, and that automatically ended up the way it did. And I think for a lot of younger wrestlers that are trying to get in the business, and sometimes when you get a couple of compliments, it's easy to buff up and be like, "Oh yeah, look, this one wrestler said this about me, or this person tried to help me," and boosting your ego. And realistically, you got to keep doing the work and continuing those discussions and not feeling entitled to anything because you can go like that.
Me and Jay actually had a match against the guys.
Yeah.
I don't say where, I don't want to say when because he's a nice kid. And we start going to the match. And the kid starts telling me everything he wants to do. And I'm like, did I lose like 200 pounds and something and become a little bitch? And so I'm like, okay, I was like, hey, so we're not going to do that. We are going to do this that you said. We are going to do this, you said. Then when they get to this part and we're going to do this that we want to do, that we need to do. And he goes, well, I want to get this move in. And I go, okay, I need you to stop. I need you to shut the fuck up. I need you to listen very clearly. Don't ever fucking say that again.
Yeah.
He goes, excuse me? I said, don't ever say that fucking again. You say, I need to get this move in to anybody else, they'll beat your ass. You're saying it to me right now, and you're pissing me off. You're going to say it to somebody else, and they're not going to come to you like I'm going to come to you like a real fucking man and tell you, don't ever fucking say that again. This match is not about your moves. This match is about us all getting over.
Yeah.
Your moves are not part of us all getting over and creating a story. And he was like, oh, no, sir. I'm sorry. I said, don't call me sir. I'm Shad.
Yeah.
This is how brothers talk to. This is how big brothers talk to little brothers. But don't ever say that around anybody else again, because it shows how green you are and how stupid you are. And he was like, cool. And at the end of the match, we did our match. The crowd fucking loved them. They loved us. We went over. They didn't lose any fucking momentum. And then we got backstage. He was like, you know what, man? He goes, I actually had to think about what you said. And you're right. I've said that before. And guys have said they missed a spot. They didn't come to me like you came to me like a real man.
Yeah.
They just took me out to the ring, and then was like, "Oh, sorry," and then he looked stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there are guys in this business that will bury you on your own ego.
Yeah.
That's what I did. I got buried on my own ego.
And I do feel like it's very common in this industry to happen to anyone that even comes closer. Like there's a lot of unsaid rules and traditions and how you're supposed to act. And it, you know, and even as an outside fan that sometimes gets to do things like this, or I get, you know, I go to events and, you know, like sometimes maybe I get too into my own head myself, thinking like, oh, like I, you know, say if I saw you at an event and I was at a signing and I know that we know each other and I come up and I like, well, like try to maybe I skip the line or something because I think we know each other. Like even me, like I'm like I shouldn't do that. You know what I mean? I should stand in line like the other people. But those are things I have to learn because there's so many unsaid rules about respect, tradition, and how to act in this thing that even as a fan that I had to learn. It's crazy, man. It's a crazy like.
You know what it is? It's because you're dealing with an industry. It's a carny industry for one.
Yeah.
And it's a carny business industry, and it's trying to become one of the same. See, acting used to be kind of a theater, you know, drunk and wine kind of thing. But now acting is a business. It's a straight business.
Yeah.
Wrestling, it still has that carny world vibe to it. You know? It still has the bearded lady. It still has the fucking strong man. It still has all the guys. It's like the majority of us, if we weren't wrestling, we'd be in jail or we'd be doing something else crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We'd be in mental institutions. Like that's legitimate. You know, I've met so many guys that if it wasn't for wrestling, their life would have been over. You know, like even me, like if I wasn't wrestling, I'd have been boxing or doing. If I wasn't wrestling, K1, I'd have went to K1, I'd have fought. You might have heard of me, you might have not heard of me, but I would have fought, did a couple of things, and then I'd probably have to open a school or be bouncing at nightclubs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's legitimate. You know? But when wrestling came along, it was like, yes, hell yeah, I'm gonna jump on that opportunity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But a lot of guys, it's a weird business. And then you have guys who, you know, I remember when I first got into WWE, I thought everybody was a shoot fighter.
Yeah.
They had a fight background. And so we used to go to the gym and train at OVW. I would hit the punching bag and I hit the dummy like bah, 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 bah. Sidekick, elbows, and I'm like hitting the dummies, and I'm watching guys watch me. They're like, "Can you?" Like I remember Cornette. I remember he was like for my tryout for WWE for OVW. When I came in, he was like, "Can you hit that dummy again?" I was like, "Yeah," and I went, "Boom, boom, boom," and he was like, "That's a real combination."
Yeah.
Now can you do it fake? And I was like, "Pop, pop, pop." He was like a throwing a baseball kid, and I was like, oh, and so I went like I threw a baseball. Boom! He goes, "That's wrestling."
Oh wow! Yeah.
So like I trained with Sergeant Dwayne Bruce, and I learned how to do a lot of moves and a lot of drills, and I got my cardio up for everything.
Yeah.
In that one moment with Jim Cornette, I learned to throw a punch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it was like that one thing I took throughout my entire career. Baseball. Boom. You'll never see me in a match going jab, jab, cross, hook. You know, throw a knee, throw an elbow, or just come in with a never. It doesn't. You as a fan won't register it. It won't translate.
Yeah.
You know? So there's a lot of things in this business that are just so.
Because even like I've only touched the surface, but I've even had, you know, I've not ever like got in trouble, but I've gotten the, hey man, we don't do that, or don't pat this guy on the back, he doesn't like it, or, you know, like he's being really nice to you because you're a fan, but like if you were somebody else, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, like I get these little lessons and I appreciate them because I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'll be honest, sometimes I don't know. Like I show up, you know, I'm not someone that fanboys. I don't get super excited meeting people. I think I'm too old for that now, and I'd rather have a beer with you than be like, oh my god, you know. But
my partner's a fanboy, you know that, right? Like JTG.
Yeah,
Jay's a fanboy.
Yeah,
and it's weird because we get treated differently because of our size difference.
Yeah,
it's like Jay's a fan of Bret Hart.
Yeah,
Jay loves Bret, but when Jay went to Bret, Jay went like, you know what I'm saying, Bret, how you doing? I'm a big fan. And we're back, and he goes, oh hey, what's up, brother? How you doing? Okay, very nice to meet you. All right, great. And then Bret turned around and walked away, and I was like, nah. And so we're working the hearts at the time, and I take G in the locker room. I go, "Hey, Brett, have you met my tag team partner, Jay?" And he goes, "Oh no, hey, what's up, brother? How you doing?"
It just wasn't a proper. But see, that's the thing, because if it's a guys I grew up watching like Brett or Stone Cold or something, then I'll be honest, it is a different reaction. If it's guys that are wrestling right now, I try to be a little more cool around them. You know,
all the guys backstage, looking for a job, so he didn't really focus on him. He just went, "Oh hey, how you doing?" and kept on going about his day. But then here I am, my big ass, and I'm like, "Yo, have you met?" Like, "Yo, Brett, have you met my tag team partner? Oh, it's your tag partner? Oh, hey, no, I haven't met." He was like, legitimately, he was like, "Oh, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?" I was like,
yeah.
We flew into LAX, right? And I'm a big Tiny Lister fan, like before, like Friday, like that. And Jay goes to the baggage thing before I do. I go to the bathroom. I come out the bathroom, and he's like, "Man, that dude's an asshole." And I go, "Who?" He goes, "Tiny Lister, Zeus." I go, "Zeus?" He's like, "Yeah, he's on our flight." I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, he's right over there." I go, "Hey, Tiny." He goes, "Yeah, what's up, man?" I go, "What up, dog? Shad Gaspard, Cryme Tyme, WWE." He goes, "Oh, what's up, man? How you doing, man? How's the company treating you?" I was like, "It's good, man. Hey, man, am I taking a photo of me and my tag team partner?" He goes, "Yeah, come on, brother."
It is a way that you approach it, though, and you have to introduce yourself. But I think there's a fine line, because there's been times where I met someone who knows exactly who I am, but I won't sit there and be like, "Oh, I'm the Wrestling Classic," like, you know.
Yeah.
And because I feel like that's me being too egotistical up my own ass if I say that. But then at the same time, if you don't, I've had people be like, "Oh, he didn't even know that was you. He's like, he wished he knew that was you because he would have been differently, but you didn't introduce yourself as yourself." And I'm like, I don't, because I'm like, this wrestling industry has hit me in so many different.
I come with 6'6" of all this.
Yeah.
Like, "Yo, what up, dog?" It's like, "Oh, hold up." You know what I'm saying?
I don't have that. Maybe that's what it is. Because I've had so many different experiences, good and bad, where it's like I'm like, I don't know if I'm supposed to introduce myself like that. And then I also like, I'm my own worst enemy, because I'm like, I don't want to ask someone if they want to come do my podcast. They probably get asked by every other jabroni that's at this convention right now. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, so I get in my own head, or I don't introduce myself properly, or if I do introduce myself properly, it might rub someone the wrong way. Like, who's this guy? Like, I had a bad experience with Eric Bischoff, which the first time was like, "Dude, you're talking too fast. I don't even know what you're saying. Let's just take a picture." But then the second time I met him, we were at StarCast, and I was hanging out with Flying Brian Jr. because we're friends, and he came to hang out with us, and he's like, "I've seen you before," and then it was cool. But I'm like, the art of introducing yourself to someone and that initial impression really is tricky. Then I've worked many jobs. I've done real estate. I've been a banker. I've done a whole bunch of things in my life. But I'm like, the wrestling industry has to be the weirdest.
So Eric loved me.
Yeah.
Because we technically we aided and abetted in getting a diva fired, but it wasn't intention. It was just a rib.
So, and she actually got fired.
Yeah, fired.
Yikes!
It wasn't our intention.
Yeah,
it wasn't our intention. But me and Ken Dykstra, Ken Doan.
Yeah,
he's one of my closest friends. Like, I love Ken like a little brother. And, one of the divas. I won't say it because she's a nice girl.
Yeah, no.
But he was reading Eric Bischoff's book, right? And we're sitting there catering. She's reading the book, and she's like, "Have you guys read this book about WCW?" Because she was legitimately trying to learn about the business, learn things. And we're like, "Oh,
I don't want to name, but was this one of those girls that kind of came through like a diva search where she might not have been a wrestling fan?"
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, that makes more sense now. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we were like, "Word." And she's like, "Yeah, the book's really good." Now, if you know anything about the book, Eric hates the book.
Oh, I did not know that. That's good to know. Remind me to never bring that up if I ever see him again.
Because there's a lot of things that had to be edited out of the book. That's right. And so we're sitting there, we're like, we know this. And so we go, well, Eric loves when people talk to him about the book. And how how he helped the merger between WCW and WWE. Like, he brought the companies together. And then she goes, "What? Really?" Because she was like in the beginning of the book.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, just go ahead and talk about it. And so me and Ken so we should start feeding her all this misinformation, right? And we're like, And then we see Eric, and we go, there he goes, right there. He goes, and so she goes to him, she goes, oh, hey, Eric, can I sit there and talk to you a second? He goes, oh, yeah, sure, sit down. She's like, yeah, so it's great how you merge the two companies and help merge W7. You know what I'm saying? He's like, yeah, like she starts saying all this shit, like, because the booking was failing, and then you helped me. And
I feel bad for her, and I don't even know who she is. I'm genuinely sitting here like, oh my god, poor girl, poor girl.
You're like, oh, stop. Okay, we went too far. And then finally, Bishop goes, you know what? Fuck you. And we're like,
wow.
We screwed on her, and she got released. Like, we were told it wasn't because of that situation, but that situation didn't help.
Yeah. That's wild. But like, so like, it's crazy because like everything you're telling me, and even now, like, and we're talking about the wrestling business, and everyone always like, it really is like, no matter whether you're working at the same place at the same time, and you said earlier, like, once you're in, it doesn't matter what generation it is, like, you have that bond with Stone Cold, and he's from a whole different generation. It really is a fraternity. It really is like a brother sisterhood. It really is like a family.
Because you know what it takes. You know what it takes to, you know, it takes a lot out of you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I slept in when I got to Louisville, I slept in a 1-bedroom apartment where I had this king size bed that I bought while I was bodyguarding.
Yeah.
And I remember I drove my truck down to Kentucky. I brought it up to, like, I got my apartment online. It was like $800 a month, and I was like, that's fucking awesome. I'm coming from living in Miami, New York, and Atlanta. That's like a steal. And so I got the apartment, and when I got there, I was like, what? This is nothing like the fucking brochure thing.
Yeah.
Where my king size bed couldn't fit in my room. So I had to throw away my bed to buy a shit bed to fit in my room. My kitchen, I couldn't stand in my kitchen and really be. I was like 290 pounds, 300 pounds, and I'm opening the oven, and the oven hits the fridge. I open the fridge hits the fucking oven. You know, they couldn't be open at the same time. It was a weird, just like cramped space. And, you know, I remember my car got broken into. They popped my hood. They took my alternator. They took all this stuff. I was like,
that's a different kind of breaking into your car. Yeah.
I was like, what? Chris Masters had to come get me, and he had this little small car. And I remember he's like, yeah, bro, there's all this stuff on the windshield, so I pour hot water. I was like, you did what? He's like, I've never had to deal with snow. I live in California. And you know, we got to go to this building, and it's freezing cold in the winter. It's hot as hell in the summer. And we have these fans that, good-hearted, are just some of the people that I never saw myself ever meeting a redneck or racist, or just like, I remember this little girl came to me at a show, and she goes, you the beast? And I go, yeah. She goes, fuck you, nigger.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, fuck you with your black ass teeth, bitch. And I was like, she had gums. It's like an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
Her gums were all black. And I looked at the rest of her family, and her mom looked like Tiger King people.
Yeah. No, I get you. No, it's. And I think that's the crazy thing with the wrestling industry is you see like the most random parts of the world that most people don't see. Like most actors, well, you know, the LA, New York, they're in maybe Houston, places, Vancouver, it's beautiful here. Maybe you come film in Vancouver, it's beautiful here and stuff. But you're not in that small town with Tiger King people doing a show in a building that's smoking hot with the smell of cigarette butts and just, you know,
that's used to, like,
sometimes like 30, 40 people there. Like I've gone to enough independent wrestling shows to be like, only wrestlers would do this. You know what I mean? Like that's it. Like,
no, but then there's a side to it where it's like, I remember, I vividly remember meeting guys who have skin conditions, who very rarely leave the house, who are handicapped in some ways, and they'll meet us at the airport, and they'll always be every time we come in, they'll always be there.
Yeah,
I'll talk to them, and I'm like, hey man, what's going on with you? And it's like, why you like wrestling? And it's like, oh man, I love you guys. You guys make me smile every time. And that really showed me that looks don't really mean shit.
They don't.
Because there's some spirits out there that are trapped in shells that might not express the beauty that's inside of them.
Yeah.
You know, like I remember this one guy, he always knows everything I'm doing, everywhere I've been. And then I'd see him go turn to fucking Randy, and he knows everything Randy's doing, everything Randy's been, and he turned to Jay, and he'll know he was just such a good guy. And
wrestling fans are the most loyal fan base out there. Like they complain a lot because they care so much. They argue and they want to know things because they care so much. And it wasn't about appearances. I mean, like wrestling is the only industry I know that actually goes to these small towns and performs in front of them. You're not going to get Leonardo DiCaprio to go to a theater in some small town and perform in front of those people. Is what I was trying to say. It's just like
Texarkana.
Yeah, like who goes to these little cities? Like, and is that wrestling fans they do appreciate that, man. These small, like for example, like I live in BC, I live in Vancouver, I live in that lower mainland where it's the hot spot. Like I have 40 minutes drive to the downtown city, and I got hikes and all that stuff. But then I'm like, sometimes the WWE comes here and they'll go do a show up in like Kamloops, okay, and I know what Kamloops is, but there's nothing in Kamloops. The people in Kamloops don't have that same city vibe here, like where they can drive into the city and go to a Canucks game. Like what's going on in Kamloops? And I'm like, why the hell is WWE doing a goddamn show in Kamloops, not close to down here? But then I realized, because I'm like, wrestling is the only like athletic. I always call it the greatest form of art and athleticism. It's like a combination. I'm like, they're the only form of entertainment that's gonna go do a show in Kamloops and still put on just as good of a show as they would have whether they're here in Vancouver, whether they were in a hot spot of downtown LA. Like they'll go do you know what I mean? Like, and those fans appreciate it so much.
I've been in Newfoundland.
Yeah. And so that's what I'm saying. I mean, like, wrestling will go places all
the time. They're like, what were you doing in Newfoundland? Wrestling. They're like, wrestling.
It's crazy, and wrestling fans are so loyal because of that. And like, trust me, I get to talk and deal with so many wrestling fans on a daily basis, and some of them piss me off, some of them I don't agree with, some of them I'm like, I don't even know. But I genuinely appreciate them because because you love this so much, and I understand that, like it makes me happy.
I always feel like this, man. I'm a wrestling fan through and through, no matter what.
Yeah,
I've been a wrestling fan since the first time I saw Hulk Hogan. The first time I saw The Rock. The Rock actually brought me back to wrestling. I stopped watching for a while, and then I saw Rocky. I saw The Rock, and I was like, "Oh shit, he's from Puerto Rico because he looks like me and my cousins, like curly hair, Caribbean." And so I thought he was Caribbean, and they was like, "Oh, he's from the islands," and I was like, "Oh, he's from the islands," and his dad's black. He's Caribbean. He's a Trini. He's a
yeah.
I'm like, he's Haitian. Stop, I said. But it's like once you get in, once this business get inside you, it's infectious.
Yeah.
And the one thing Vince used to always say to me, and it says it to everybody, so it's not just me in particular, is that every American has a wrestling story. Okay? Wrestling is engraved in North American culture.
100%.
Everything. And then when you go outside of North America, you realize that wrestling is a part of the world like nobody else.
It's so true. And I say that to a lot of people because I'm like, if I've learned anything from my page, people are like, yo, like, and it's the craziest people too. Like they're like, yo, The Weeknd follows you like that. I'm like, dude, you'd be surprised how many people are wrestling fans. I'm like, it shocked me until I started this page. Like some of the people, like, I have like the randomest celebrities, like Gabriel, not to name drop, like Gabriel Iglesias follows me, or this guy follows me. And I'm like, and no matter how much you follow them, you'll never see The Weeknd post almost anything wrestling related. He won't. That's not his brand. That's not what he does.
No.
But people now know he's a wrestling fan, and I'm like, because everybody has, whether they're a fan now or
you're a mutual friend of my boy Davo.
Yeah, there you go. But like whether they're a fan now or they used to be a fan, like everybody at one point has exactly what Vince has a wrestling memory. If I go to someone, they're like, "Oh, you do that wrestling classic thing?" Oh, I remember back in my day when like everybody has a story. They might not watch anymore, but they're like, "Oh yeah, I remember that one." Is that one guy still around? The Macho Man? Like everybody has a story. They know something,
You know the craziest thing, and I love this because I'm in this world of Hollywood. I'll do shows and stuff like that, and there's always an older lady. There's always an older lady, and like I'll be a guest star on a show, or I'll be doing some like kind of stunts on a show, something like that. And they were like, "So you used to wrestle?" I'm like, "Yes, ma'am, I used to wrestle." And it's always like an older, when she was younger, she was hot, but now she's got that little.
yeah. No, I just mean.
So they were like, "You used to wrestle?" Like, "Oh, yes, ma'am." whew. And I'm like, once they do, every time they do the same thing, they go, whew. I met Ric Flair. And I'm like, whew. I met Tatanka this one time. Whew. I met Rocky Johnson this time. I'm like, I don't want to hear it. 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 Well, I'm just saying.
But it's crazy.
I've never been done like that. And I'm like, I don't know. La 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 la.
It's just it's so ingrained in the call. Like it's crazy too, because like now let's talk about this because I know we're going a little overboard here, but I'm having a great time talking to you. But like now we're in this period. It's Steve Carino period, right? Like and everything stopped, right? All sports have stopped. Basketball stops. NHL stopped. I'm Canadian, so NHL pops in my head before a lot of other things. The NBA, the NFL stopped. All this other stuff stopped, but wrestling is still going on, and they're still trying to put out content. Mainly the two major companies of the modern day, the WWF and WWE and AEW.
Wrestling is not going on.
Yeah.
Wrestling is not going on because for wrestling to go on, independent wrestling has to go on. Independent wrestling is the roots to everything we do. You know what I'm saying? And if independent workers aren't working and wrestling and perpetuating the major promotions, wrestling's not going on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People with money are putting on shows.
No, it's 100% what's happening.
That's going on. And independent wrestling, which is the lifeblood of this business, that stopped. Until independent wrestling is back up and running, and guys who work at as an accountant, guys who work as vendors, guys who work in all these other different jobs and wrestle as a passion, until that's going on, wrestling ain't happening. It's like the NBA. It's like baseball, basketball, everything. The minors feed the pros. The pros know we are nothing without the minors.
Yeah.
Because every time you go out, you're chopping away at your body, at your lifespan, at what you can do. You know what I'm saying? And every time you chop, you're looking for somebody to pull up to be like, hey, you, come here. We need to work a program. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how you sustain your business. You know?
No, I totally understand. I totally agree.
I honestly feel that with the way the product's going right now, we have a few months, if that, without fans.
I just think wrestling lives off the fans. Like wrestling, out of all those other sports, it's the only one that needs the fans.
After a few months go by, people are going to start looking and going, okay, man, I held on as long as I could. I'm out.
I'm not going to lie to you. I already kind of feel that way as a fan. I didn't watch Raw this week. I put AEW on. I'm like, because I love wrestling and I've loved it since kids. A form of escapism. I turned into a thing where I could somehow make money, and it's been good to me a little bit. But and I'll always love wrestling. And for me, like I always tell people, like sometimes people are like, you're too neutral. I'm like, a couple of things happen. One, I've come to a point where I don't even have opinions. Sometimes I get excited about how people react to things. I don't know how I've got to this point. And two, I'm never going to not watch it. I'll never be that guy that's like, I'm canceling my WWE network. This sucks. I'm never, ever going to be that guy. I established that a long time. I'm going to love this till the day I die because I loved it since I was a kid. And throughout my life, it's been my form of escapism. But it's even hard for me to watch right now. I'm never going to stop watching. I'll continue watching when the shows go back on and everything starts rolling in. And I'm still going to watch even though I can't watch. But like, it's hard, man.
It's one of the things where the guys on the show, the storylines were perpetuated by the fans.
Yeah.
We get you guys, we get your immediate input right away. It's like, this sucks. This is good. We like this. Yay. That wrestling is not acting.
Yeah.
Right away.
It's like improv.
Wrestling is being a theater actor.
Yeah.
And every theater actor knows that you can memorize all the lines you want, all the movements you want, but your 6 p.m. show and your 8 p.m. show are going to be two completely different audiences.
Yeah.
You got to listen and feel the audience to give that real theatrical performance. Each audience is going to pull something different out of you.
Because I'm like, once again, from your perspective, because I'm not a wrestler, I've never laced my boots and I've been in the ring, but I'm like, from everything I've learned to know and all that stuff, and I'm like, I look at wrestling, I'm like, it always sounds cliche when someone's cutting a promo and like, you guys are part of the show as much as no, because they actually are. People can still play hockey or play basketball without an audience and still be competitive. Wrestling, like you said, it's like theater, so that adrenaline that you guys get, it has to come from us. Like I always joke around, I'm like, you can't do the Hogan 3 little arm drops if the crowd doesn't start going wild and pumping them up for that third one to get wild. Like that's part of the show.
One of my favorite matches next is it's so condescending, but Macho Man versus Steamboat and Hogan versus Rock.
Yeah.
And to even put those two matches in the same bracket as my top matches is disrespectful to the other.
Yeah.
Because Macho versus Steamboat on mute, beautiful.
Yeah.
Hogan versus Rock on mute.
No, 100%. That's a perfect comparison, though, because those are two really great matches, but one really was great because the crowd was so into it.
Because you had so much time to rock. It was like I never thought I was going to see this. I remember Umaga never saw the match.
Yeah.
And I remember us watching the match. We ran out of gas because his manager was driving the truck, and we ran out of gas, and so Shelton and Charlie had to go with some random guy with gas. And me and Umaga, we had to sit in the car. We're watching the match, and he goes, "This is a shit match. But this is awesome."
Yeah.
Shit. Like we had it blaring on the speakers, and we're like, "This is a shit match, but it's so beautiful.
Yeah,
it's so everything our business is. You're so invested.
Yeah,
it's built for investment. But then you watch Steamboat versus Savage, and if you're not even a fan of either guy, if you're a current fan but you never seen that match, go watch that match. You'll be like, wait a minute, rewind that. Did he just place the bell perfectly as he took a bump and then roll through?
That's art. That's art. That's a different sort of situation there.
And you're like, oh my God, that's Randy Orton timing. No, that's Macho Man Randy Savage timing.
Yeah.
Got his timing from Savage, not the other way around.
Yeah.
So you got to be that good to watch how just perfect he was. You know what I mean? I remember I told Steamboat about the match, and he was like, fucking Macho came with a fucking book and goes, "This is our match, brother."
No, and everyone, there's so many stories about that. How we, and then that's insane, though. And then that's a perfect comparison of like a match that was made because of the crowd and a match that was, you can still do it, but it's not going to work every time.
And a lot of these guys in the performance center, they're not fully fledged. It's a mixture of fully fledged indie wrestlers who work their way up through the crowd and athletes who never had to earn a crowd. And you have those two.
And that's what I was going to say, because even
now.
If we're the guys we're talking about, the Hogans and the Machos and these guys of the world, and including your guys' generation too, that didn't like just get signed to NXT or to development or didn't get to work these guys, a lot of those guys like Macho, for example, and Hogan, like territory guys, kind of perfected who their characters and stuff were before they came to the WWE. Where sometimes what it seems like now is people maybe might have perfected who they were in the independent stuff, but when you come to the WWE, they kind of they redesign you to what they want. Well, back in the day, like they took Macho and stuff, and don't be wrong, I'm sure there was some things that changed, but Macho still got to be Macho. Hogan was still pretty much who he kind of was in the AWA. Flair came in as Flair. People already established, and they knew their promos, they knew their character, and they came in, they played that thing. Where now I see it feels like, and tell me if I'm wrong, I don't know, that guys perfect themselves independent, when they come, they're like, we're gonna make you a totally different person.
They had me in OVW.
Yeah.
As Beast, this badass heel, just beat the fuck out of everybody. Right? When I first got in, I came in using my MMA stuff.
Yeah.
Right? 3 matches in, I got told, nobody's gonna believe you're right to Cornette, nobody's gonna believe you're an MMA fighter. I was like, I just came back from Thailand and what are you talking about? It was like, oh well, nobody's gonna believe that this giant black guy knows how to fight. And I was like, bro, I legitimately just won a tournament. And he was like, all right, we're gonna put you in jeans. And I was angry. I was so I wore jeans for like a year and a half, 2 years. And then when Paul Heyman came in, Paul was like, you're not a, it's like, you're a real thug. I know a real thug when I see one.
Yeah.
He goes, what's your problem? I said, you're not letting me loose. And so he let me loose as this badass heel, just being this monster. And he was like, I see. We're going to make you like Brock. We're going to make you like fucking all those badass guys. Then Al Snow said, but we're going to make you a pussy. Because if you just like you badass, it's not going to build anybody. So I need you to learn to sell. And Brock, everybody hates him. There is nobody that sells better than Brock.
So good. Dude, I'm like, every time we watch his matches, I'm like, dude, look what he's doing for these guys. Like, even if they lose, he's putting them over, man. This little skinny Finn Balor's whooping this guy's ass, and Brock's like, whoa. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it works.
So I started watching Brock on selling, and I remember I was coming on the road, I'm working with Val Venus, and I'm being his badass heel with Val, and I'm like, okay, I'm about 320, so I'm like, I'm at a good size where I get away with a lot of big moves and a lot of power stuff. Everything's being built up for that. I was feuding with CM Punk from OVW, and then they brought Glenn Kane in to work a match with us at Six Flags Summer Scissor Street.
Yeah.
Oh my God. We got to do this promo. They brought Glenn in to work the Six Flags Summer Scissor Series. All right. United Kingdom, come out and see us, the stars of OVW, at the Six Flags Summer Scissor Series. You're going to pay for the whole seat, you're only going to use the edge. Had to do that shit like 10 times in a row.
Wow.
But no. So they brought Glenn in for that. And Glenn came in and he was like, hey, this is going to be good for you. They're going to bring you on the road because of this. And the plan was for me to go to ECW and for MVP to go to SmackDown and for Mark Henry to be at Raw. And Coach was going to be managing all three of us on all three brands. And it was like Coach was going to have not the Nation of Domination, but more of like an Ari Gold.
Yeah.
You know,
he's an agent.
Yeah, he has the best badass talent. He has the world's strongest man. He has the fucking MVP of talent. He has this fucking beast, this hardcore thug on ECW. Nobody can beat the Coach.
Yeah.
He's made for the badasses, right? And all three of us legit. So that was the whole thing. So getting ready for Glenn, I told Jay, hey, let's have some fun. Let's shoot some vignettes. And so we shoot some vignettes of us robbing people, beating the shit out of motherfuckers, and just shot for fun. And then I was sending an idea a week to WWE. So I just put it in my packet. And mind you, I've sent like freaking 90 ideas to the company, right? And so I sent them out to the packet. You know, little time goes by, and Glenn comes in. We work Glenn and CM Punk. The vignettes get over his shit. After the match, I'm at home, and I get a call from Johnny.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, can you guys come to Cleveland, Ohio? I was like, what do you mean you guys? He goes, your partner, how is he? I was like, he's cool. He's straight.
Yeah.
How is he as a worker? I was like, he's a great worker. He's fucking awesome. He's this, that. He's like, okay, cool. All right, we're going to sign him. We're going to bring you guys on the road. And I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And so I called Jay real quick, and I was like, hey, Johnny Yates is about to call you. He worked at daycare at Gold's Gym.
Wow.
Like, you're going to see a 203 number. Pick it up. And so he's like, all right, cool. And so I hang up on him, and I'm sitting there, I'm waiting, and I get a 203 number call on my phone. I pick it up, I go, hello? And he's like, can you take I was like, hey, Shad, how you doing? Can you take a call from Vince McMahon real quick? And I go, yeah, sure. And I pick up, and I'm like, hey, what's up, boss man? He's like, hey, so what's up with this yo-yo homeboy thing you're doing now?
Yeah.
I go, the what? He goes, you know, the yo-yo homeboy thing with you, Robin White. I go, it's cool, boss. Why? He goes, I love it. Want to bring you guys to Cleveland, see if we can do something with it. Okay, cool. He goes, you got a car? I go, yeah, we'll just drive up ourselves. He goes, all right, see you guys this Monday. Like, all right, cool. Hang up the phone. A little while later, Jay calls me. He's like, did I just get a contract? I'm like, you just got a contract. He's like, oh my God. He's like, I'm fucking going crazy right now. We got to Cleveland this week. I'm like, yeah. We're panicking because we're broke. We got contract, but I'm still broke.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, Danny Davis, can I borrow some money? And Al's like, wait a minute. Did you guys agree to drive up there? I was like, yeah, it's just Cleveland. He goes, do you know how far Cleveland is from Louisville, Kentucky? No. I don't. He's like, okay, idiots, just go drive. And so we rent a car, we drive up like 6 hours plus.
Yeah. Wow.
And we get there, and Vince is like, I love it. It's a great thing. Where'd you get it? I was like, I thought it was Living Color. Saying we just want to do something funny because it's been so serious.
Yeah.
Like, no, I love it. You guys robbing Whitey. And so we go through it, and he's like, Jay's name at the time was the Neighborhoodie, JTG.
Yeah.
Like, together with the Neighborhoodies.
Yeah.
Because he was partner with Abraham. And then we went through the whole spiel, and I saw Hogan. Hogan was like, show me my gear, and Hogan was like, fuck yeah. So I used to wear tights.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, you're going to be a monster. And I was like, yeah, they got us doing a comedy thing right now. He goes, comedy? No, don't do it. And I was like, all right, Terry. And so he walked away, and I was like, I'm doing it anyway.
Yeah.
I was like, I ain't got to kind of clout, man.
Yeah, no, that was your shot.
Yeah.
So you know what? I want to really have you back on here because I think we can keep talking for like another hour. I can already tell, and these are casual conversations, so like we can definitely do this again. But before I let you go,
I just realized we're doing it for 1 hour 25 minutes. God damn.
Yeah, no, and honestly, I'm ready to keep talking, and we could go like 2 hours. But I think it'd be better to have you come back on whenever you feel like. Honestly, literally whenever you feel like. You know where to find me. But if you were to give it, because like I say this all the time, because I have a ton of people that follow me that, obviously the big wrestling fans, they might take that leap of faith to start wrestling. You've given us like 1,000 different lessons in this hour and 25 minutes already, but of what it's like to be in the wrestling industry and how to act and what the wrestling industry is, and your own experiences. But what advice would you give someone that right now is sitting on the fence about, should I hit up this wrestling school? Should I go pursue this? Is it realistic? What advice would you give to that person?
I give advice to a lot of guys.
Yeah.
All the time. And I think one of the key things I keep on telling people is understand that by pursuing your dream, you are not living in a reality that is suitable for people who aren't good with dealing with pain.
Yeah.
When you pursue a dream, it's your dream for a reason. And you're living in a reality that is not going to suit your wife, your kids, your family, your friends, your coworkers. And if you're going to live in that dream, a lot of pain, a lot of agony, and a lot of doubt will come your way. If you are not mentally prepared to deal with that, no matter what the outcome is, you will always fail. You will always fail.
Yeah.
I know so many guys who I watched them and they said, man, all I want to do is have a match on Monday Night Raw and I'll be happy. And they got that match and they weren't happy because they lied to themselves.
Yeah.
They didn't want it. They didn't want just a match on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
They wanted a career. They wanted a career. I had 9 years of WWE. I had 9 years of WWE, 5 of those years on TV. Happy about that. Never went to TNA. Never went to another organization. Got asked, got offered. Just never felt right for certain things.
Is that something? I don't want to end the advice, but is that something that's is that door closed?
What was that?
To go anywhere else?
No, I still
work full time. Huh?
Look at me. I'm 39 years old. Jericho's my age.
Yeah.
I started the company when I was 21, 22.
Yeah.
Jay started when he was 19. I'm 39.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not even Undertaker's age when he was the American Badass.
No, 100%.
I'm not even Jericho's age when he was working me 10 years ago.
Yeah. I know it has nothing to do with wrestling, but the older I get, the more I realize I'm still really goddamn young. I don't ever feel I never feel any older. Some girl asked me, I was talking to, she's like, how old are you? I had to think about it first. I'm like, yeah, I'm 28. I'm 20, but I'm like, I feel 25. I'm like I hit 25 and it didn't change for a little bit,
No, was in quarantine, I found this video of myself.
Yeah.
That a fan it was like I have very little footage of me when I fought. And I remember this fan in OVW, like, you know, he got all the stuff. And he put his image to find to get tough enough and all those kind of things. And he would do all the stuff. And I remember I asked him to do a video of me from like some of my fight stuff. He put his like thing together, and I was like, oh, you know what? I found it. I'm gonna post it today. But it basically showed me from 17 up until I was 25.
Yeah.
And, I had come to the realization that I had a career before I was even a man. You know what I mean? And I had a dream before I even knew what I had. You know? And then I got my dream. I had that for a certain amount of time as well. And then I'm still going after other dreams. You know? And I remember this conversation I had with my mom, and she said, yo, it scares me because the higher I see you go, the more worried I'm so worried that you're falling.
Yeah.
I said, Ma, that's crazy. Because the higher I go, the further I see I'm from where I want to be.
Yeah.
You know, you're worried about me falling down. I'm worried about me not going up high enough.
No, 100%. And I don't know, sometimes I get a kick at the idea that I can fall. It's weird. I know that probably makes no sense, but it's like, oh, I can fall. I'm not going to do that. Like, I'm not going to do that. Like, you know, so when I even fall a little bit, I'm like, oh, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Yeah.
Look, I like, everybody's like, oh, it's quarantine time. I'm like, bro, I took in my car. Like, we didn't touch on that. Oh, snap. After I left WWE, I went to like my wife.
Yeah.
So we separated and we got back together. But when we were separated, I slept in my car.
Yeah.
I came out to LA and I was sleeping in my car, going to red carpet events, you know, doing all the celebrity stuff. But I was sleeping in my car and I was grinding my ass off.
People only see the success; they don't see the downfalls.
No,
there's plenty of downfalls.
It wasn't a downfall because sleeping in my car, I only had 5 hours sleep before the person that owned the nail salon that I was sleeping behind in my car came to open the shop. So I'd be at Starbucks or IHOP at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., and I would be writing scripts.
Yeah.
I started writing Pinfall.
Yeah.
I started writing this show, that show. And those 5 a.m.s writing and me going to the gym, guess what I mean when I was at the gym at 5 a.m.? Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, it's crazy how this stuff works. It's insane.
Okay.
Because I remember I've experiences where I've come, like things didn't go as planned, but because they didn't, better things happened, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yep.
Because I also think it's an attitude thing too. Because you also have to have grown up in some sort of, and not like anyone can do, but I feel like you do have to grow up in some sort of a tough situation where things don't go your way a lot when you're younger. Yeah. That you're used to being like, but they end up working out anyways. Things always end up all right. I'm strong, I'm healthy, I'm good. We can grow. I'll get this going. If I really want something, I can get it. Because I had to do that my entire childhood. If I really wanted something, I had to get it. You know what I mean? So like,
my wife is the best. We're very opposite. She's insecure.
Yeah.
She's at a point where she's being like, she gets my attitude of, it'll be all right.
No, that's what it is, you know?
It'll be all right.
Some people get mad at me. They're like, no, it's not. I'm like, listen, 5 years ago.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
Yeah, like I just have this really weird attitude. I'm like 5 years from now, like I could sit here and be really pissed about anything. Or like, and I do. I'm someone that obviously have big dreams, so I do doubt myself sometimes. I have shitty days where I'm upset or like I'm down. But like, I'm like, the thing is, like, a lot of times when things happen, and I've learned this. I've only learned this recently because I've had a lot of crazy things happen to me in my life, and I'm like, I look back at those things, whether they're bad relationships or crashing cars or doing something stupid or whatever, you know, losing friends, making friends, and making mistakes, not jumping on opportunities. I'm like, everything that happened, right or wrong, if it led to me where I am right now, I'm okay with it because I like right now.
Exactly.
And I'm still moving forward. And there's and it sounds very hippie and optimistic and overly positive, but I do believe if you look back at anything bad that happened to you in the past and you try to really look for that silver lining, it's there.
It's there.
It's there.
Yeah. And that's why I tell people, getting in this business, whatever you're expecting to get out of it, that's what you're gonna get.
You just don't realize it in the moment sometimes.
Yeah, but it's like you gotta know it ain't easy. I know so many guys who got what they asked for, they got their shot, they got their tryout, and they were the nicest guys. Kofi Kingston, the nicest guy.
Yeah.
When I told Kofi, we saw Kofi all the time. When I saw Kofi, I said, we saw Kofi all the time. Love Kofi. This is before he got signed. I said, hey man, I'm gonna beat your ass. He goes, what? I go, I'm gonna beat your ass in this match. Okay? And I took him in the ring and I beat the fuck out of him. So bad. When I went, boom, it echoed and Vince went, yeah. Everybody's attention. And I'm working him. And I said, fucking great. I said, Kofi, drop kick me 3 times, as hard as you can. I shot him off, I threw a line, he ducked, in my face. Boom. Bumped hard. Boom, boom. Hard. He came back, boom, give me the corner. He starts firing up. He's hitting me. He's not going.
Yeah.
He went, fucking hit me. Shove him back. I go to line him. He ducks under, springboards, crossbody. Boom. 1, 2, kick out. Hits the ropes. I catch him in midair. Get my finish. Boom. Slam him hard down. 1, 2, 3. All the boys are clapping.
Because they felt that.
He's bleeding on his shoulder.
Yeah.
There's a scar there for the rest of his life. We always make fun of it. We always poke at it. He goes, that's my brother Shad beating my ass to make sure I got a job because I was such a sad. Because being shit. You got an opportunity, take that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Take it. You want to sit in the back and eat catering and shake hands and kiss babies and not step out of line? You're not welcome here. That'll get you this far. The ceiling. Limits the sky. Sky's the limit. Limit for you, right here. I've paid probably $25,000 to $30,000 in fines because of my attitude. I've earned more. I gave Wesley Pipes a shout out on live TV. Okay? Porn star.
Yeah.
Legitimately. Okay? Nobody, I got in trouble. Nobody else, they just laughed at it. We stole money from the fans. When you see us sell things, the fans, those aren't plants.
Yeah.
Those aren't plants. We legitimately stole the fans. Okay? We got in trouble time and time again, but we made a mark. And guys who don't make marks, yeah, you won a title. Yeah, you got this. Yeah, you got that. Yeah, you got some security for a while. But did you really live it up?
Yeah.
Did you do 10 shots with the Undertaker and vomit?
Yeah.
Did you and Stone Cold eat chicken wings at Mania all night long?
Yeah, it's crazy because 20, the older you get, you also realize that that's what you're gonna remember. Yeah, that's what you remember, is those memories and the times, man. Damn. Well, man, I want to keep talking to you, but I just feel like I don't want this to go too long because I want people to listen. I want people to listen, but I definitely want you to come back on, like 100%. Like anytime you're bored during this quarantine, if there's something that happens on wrestling, you're like, hey, I want to talk about that. Hit me up, man.
I'm gonna post that video of me fighting and stuff.
Yeah, do it. But before I let you go, like where can people find you on social media?
Social media is shadbeast13 at gmail.com.
Sweet. There you go.
Shadbeast. No, Shadbeast13. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Gmail I was connected with, but you can email me all you want. I don't answer that shit.
Yeah. Email and find them on Instagram, find them on Twitter.
I have a Gmail, and people are like, "Oh, where can I email you?" I have an AOL, and I give them my AOL. I actually answer my AOL email.
That's like the special one. That's a special one, right?
They're like, what's going on? I'm like, nothing. It's like you have a message that didn't read. Moving on.
I also guys, be sure to look out for Pinfall. I see this happening very soon. I just think it's something that like we've got in wrestling shows, we've got in Glow, we've got nothing, but it's nothing nothing has hit home yet. Yeah, in my opinion.
This is the thing it's gonna be good. It'll be good. And there's another show that whatever does good for the business, I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
It's just whatever helps perpetuate the business because I love the business we're in.
Yeah, we just want wrestling fans to have more, and we do as a fan. Like we always want more. Anything more that we can get, and you're at the end of the day, you're a fan. We always just want more wrestling. Whatever. If there's a show based on wrestling, let me check that out. If this is about wrestling, let me check it. Like we want more wrestling. We love wrestling that much. We're obsessed. It's weird, but I said that yesterday on a show. I'm like, wrestling is weird, and someone's like, someone put that on a t-shirt. I'm like,
I love wrestling.
And I'm like, wrestling is weird, but I love it. but I appreciate you coming on here, man. It was a blast talking to you. You've always been super cool with me. I remember meeting you guys this last year in New York again, and we did that shout out, and it was so like out of nowhere. You guys, you know, I anything I can ever do to help with my random lucky, a lot of work put into it, but I still think it's very luckily my social wealth I obtained somehow. I got you guys.
Be chill, man. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
You know what's funny? Next time we do this, put it out. Have a bunch of questions from fans. I'll answer the question whether they want. All right?
No, 100%. Let's do it. And I definitely want to do it again. I
even have Drew McIntyre stories from his last marriage.
No, from all I know is that there's stories that you have that we didn't even get to touch upon, because every time we talked about something, a story came with us. So I'm like, dude, this could literally be like a regular thing. If that's something we can discuss. This could be a regular show. But appreciate you coming on, man. And we'll see.
We're in a quarantine, so I might actually be able to do that.
Yeah, we'll knock a bunch of. We pre-record them and put them out later and stuff. Appreciate it, man. And I hope all you guys enjoy this. You guys know where to find me. Do you have any merchandise that you're selling or anything?
Shirts.
Yeah. Find them. But anyways, we'll talk to you guys all later. Have a good one. Ooh, yeah, dig it.
Yeah.